Okay, the first question that we need to discuss is reflect on the readings, class, and activities and videos. So we need to inspect different forces affecting the workplace today and comment on the one or two that we think that have the biggest impact. So what you can say about it?
I mean, when I read, then like I think like the biggest thing is that maybe within work and the environment, I think technology is taking over a lot right now, and it's also growing super fast, and it's making everything more connected, which is good. But I also think there's also a lot of stress. Like we're always like bombarded with emails and notifications. I mean, it's kind of cool to stay connected, but it also creates a lot of pressure. That's my opinion.
Yes, totally. I think that one of the biggest force affecting the workplace today is the shift towards self-management. As Tucker, explained in the managing oneself, individuals can no longer rely on the companies to manage their careers. This means that people must understand their strengths, values, and work style to succeed. Another significant force could be the increasing on the importance of job satisfaction and organizational commitments, which are linked to turnover or performance and absenteeism. I mean, I think.
Yeah, for me, I
Yes,
agree
also,
with. Sorry, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to add that Marco said about job satisfaction, and in one of the chapters he mentioned that. So with that, I think that also in the workplace there are some people that doesn't like to the workplace that they are. So that is called self-sabotage. So they stay in that there even that they don't like it. So they do their performance is not good. They stay there because probably they think that they invest too much in the company, so they didn't want to move out, and also for them it's not the right moment to leave the company. So their performance is not good at all, and they are affecting also the company that they are. No?
So as of my opinion, many things are changing the way we work. So the biggest force are like remotes and hybrid works. I mean, many people now work from home or do a mix of home and office work. So they gives more freedom, but it can be harder to stay connected with co-workers. So yeah.
So I agree with Sophia that the technology is like moving very fast, and that we have to put everybody on the boat, that everybody gets like I can't find the word, that everybody knows about the technology and knows how it works. And I think there are at the moment too many generations that are not on the same level. So for example, everybody who's right before the pension has, I think, a lot of difficulties with the new technologies like the AI, or even with computers. Some never worked with computers, and I think that's a big problem to handle, that everybody gets on the same level regarding the technology.
Yes, I agree also with that. I wanted to add just a small thing that is about the leadership, that also that influence in the workplace, because an employee that works there and doesn't have a good leader for them, so makes the environment a little bit hard for this person. So the leadership is also important, like influencing in the other person how this one achieve the goals that are for the company. Someone else wants to add something else?
No.
Maybe
No.
this is something off track, but I was also reading like the article or like the file, like how to stay stuck in the wrong career. And here they're like saying like you have to kind of like know yourself and kind of like find your own success and your own career, because the companies will not do it for you anymore. So you have to like find your own kind of career path to get to know yourself, so you're not like jumping into like a career that doesn't suit you at all, because that can also create like issues later in the future if you're not good at your job.
Mhm.
Mhm.
How this changes the workplace today and how it will change it for you.
Just to get on the thing Sophia said, I think at the moment it's very difficult to find a way where you want to go for the rest of your working life. So there are so many paths that you can take, and I think for the moment it's so difficult, even in the situation we are. So we're gonna work in 2 years, I think, or 1.5, and I think it's very difficult to find a job and to know what you really want to do, if you don't even know it yet. But in my situation, I'm a little bit lost, and I think I'm just gonna do anything and just start it and hope that it works out. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Go, Danny. Don't worry.
Okay, for me, these changes affects because the workplace in the companies now are changing. The companies wants people who know about themselves and also that can work with other ones in a respectful way and a safe environment. So in one reading that was managing oneself, I see that about the personality and the organizational behavior. So it's important. That is a very important term. Also, for me, this means that I will need to choose jobs that where I feel comfortable and also that I can grow. I can grow, of course, and also where I match, also with the environment and also with the job, so and the company values. I will also try to work with people who communicate well and treat others with respect. That for me is very important. That, and also I would like to have a boss that could be my leader and can learn from him. So I will be comfortable in an environment like that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Daniela. Since with the employee engagement, I feel like I will end up like in a workplace where the focus will be like mainly on making sure that people are happy and also like with their health that is stable. But of course, it's also kind of difficult to manage that. Like Roland said, with the technology that's growing super, super fast. And I think now we have to like kind of understand our limits, when to like switch off the technology and like to have a more balanced life.
Yeah, and I think also these changes create a workplace where adaptability and personal development are essential. So, for example, for me, this means that I must not only focus on the technical skills, but also on understanding how I learn, work, for example, in the interaction with other people. It also means that I must take more initiative and in managing my own growth and my career direction, for example.
So as of me, the workplace, these changes make the workplace more modern and focus on employees. Like many companies now offering things like remote works, flexible jobs, and uh, a chance to learn and grow. And this means I need to be more open to change and understand myself better. And I should take charges of my career and make sure my jobs match my strength. And I will need to stay active and keep learning and be strong when things get tough.
Okay, guys, how are your values and personality affecting how you behave and what you value on job and in life?
According to the readings, personality affect what kind of situation we feel comfortable and how we behave. For example, if someone prefers stability, they may avoid high pressure environments. Values also play a crucial role. If my personal value don't align with those of the organization, it can lead to frustration and poor performance. Recognizing, for example, this can help me to choose the right work environment and stay motivated.
Yeah, I agree with Marco, since when it comes to work, I also care a lot about security, to be stable. I also really value self-direction, having control over my work, and also fairness is a huge thing for me. Like, things should be fair. And also outside of work, my values are all about building strong relationships with my closest people, and I don't like to make decisions that go against my own values. Yeah.
I also think that, in my opinion, work-life balance is like a very important thing. That I have a balance between life and job. That I have a lot of, at least a good amount of time for doing things outside of the job, and also that the work that I have to do has an importance, not that I just do repetitive work that has no meaning. And I want that I have the feeling to be needed in the company.
Exactly.
Yes, I also agree about the work and life and personal life balance. So, in my opinion, honestly, the way I see things and act, like both and work and in my personal life, comes a lot from my values and personality. Like I believe in the respect, like being honest in my personal life and also in the work. That is very important. I'm a responsible person and organized, so I like environments where the the people support each other and we have the same goals. That is for the like for the good of the company, no? So whether I am in a job or in my personal life, in both, I try to be the same person, no? So, but I try to stay focused, treat the people good, and do something that matters for me and for the company.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Like my values, like wanting to grow and be responsible and treat people fairly, and how I make my choices and how I treat others. So my personality shows that I'm curious, and some people can count. Like at work, I like clear goals, working with others, and chance to learn new things. In my personal life, these same qualities help me build good relationship and keep improving myself.
Okay, guys, now we need to discuss about the results we had in the simulation that we do in class the last week. So who wants to discuss or start sharing your results?
I can start.
Okay.
So at the beginning, before the simulation, I put a less higher percentage on the family aspect, so on my family members. And even during the simulation, I found out that I'm focusing actually a lot more on my family than I thought. And afterwards, I got the result that I put a lot more weight on my family. So I was a bit not shocked but surprised that
Mhm.
that I'm that a family friendly guy. I thought it was a little bit less at the beginning.
Um, the same happened to me, that I put less on the family, and also I put too less in social impact. At the end of the results, I got in social impact like a lot more. I think that in the beginning I put like 10%, and at the end it was like 40%. And also my family was like 40%, and then the rest, because I don't remember good the amount of the family, the percentage, but also was higher because probably because I'm here and I'm far from my family, but I didn't know how much was the impact in the real, answering the questions of the quiz.
Yeah, in my simulation, it actually started out, I was more focusing on work and my relationships with maybe friends or being like social with others. But then I like also realized I also have to like focus on my self-care, like the well-being. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I also made like a lot of work decisions, but then like in the conclusion, you also have to take care of yourself and have like your own time to like wind down. So I think that's a good balance to also like to take time for yourself too, and not always to focus on other people, but on yourself too. So
Yeah, also for me, I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, according to Daniela, because for example, my simulation, she was also pretty high grade with the family, and probably it's also because I'm far from my home, and that's why. And probably also I mean, it's also important because probably that influence of my future work, because I don't know if I will be able to stay like far from my home for a long time, but the social aspect was pretty high also. So I think that to create a good environment between your colleagues is so important for me. Create also something like also outside of the work. I mean, that's my point.
So for me, in my simulation, I prefer to solving problems and organized way, being fair and working well with others and our teams. And I try to avoid conflict and make choice that help the whole group. And also, this matches my personality and values. It shows that I care more about teamwork and share success than just winning or being in control. So yeah, this is my thought.
Yeah. Yes. I think that these questions and answers that we did reflect that is in the reality is not what we thought, is another thing, but you didn't saw it before, no? So this experience helped a lot for me.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to do a question like, which attitudes and behaviors do you dislike, and can you recognize why? Who wants to start?
But for example, I tend to dislike behaviors such as disorganization or lack of following through. Based on the readings, I recognize that this could be due to my home values and the reliability and efficiency. What I see, basically, when I see this lacking in others, it can create tense, especially if our work style are incompatible.
yeah, I mean for me the attitudes and the behaviors I dislike, from my experience, that I mean to have like a dominant behavior can be also like a positive or negative thing, but in general, with my experience, I think if you're like too dominant with the behavior, you don't really care about other people, and you just tell everybody what to do with asking for feedback or input. And I think this doesn't value the fairness and respect for others. So for me, I kind of like prefer a more collaborative approach where everybody has their own say and own opinions. But yeah, I think every boss or like the person is different, because maybe in some kind of roles or positions, like higher up, they have to be dominant, but you can also be having respect for your colleagues.
I agree also with that. And in the behaviors that I don't like, especially like in the people, are the people who are negative always, like all the time, or complain without trying to help. Like they don't give a solution; they just complain. No, so that's a thing that bother me, and the reason is because could be because my family they always saying me like be positive and you can solve the problems, that there is always a solution. So you don't need to complain for everything, no? Sometimes it's difficult also for me, but it's what it is, needs to be like that. And but also, I mean, in a group, there are always different opinions, different behaviors, but you don't need to be negative and make that all the group or just the group that you are all negative, because you ruin all, no? So that's why I prefer being surrounded with people who have good energies and support the group, no? So connecting this with the simulation, I can say that the results show that I care also about the relationships, uh, and that matches what I was saying, no?
Yeah, I just want to say that regarding the relationship, behavior that I don't like is when somebody is unloyal or want to talks about behind the back of someone. I don't hate I hate that a lot. I hate it in my private life and I hate it in my working life. So I just want to work with people that are straight out, that that these people talk about what they are thinking, and that they not say you A and then talks to another and say there B, C, D, whatever. I just wanna work with someone with people who are straight out and yeah.
So yeah, I agree with Florent. I really had dishonesty and irresponsibility and close-mindedness. I see them because they go against my own values of honesty and growth. Such behaviors become a barrier to achieve teamwork and building trust, and I tend to avoid them or confront them directly when I see them at work. So
Okay, now regarding the last question, that for example, for the fact that for the graph part, in the questionnaire, I mostly selected the option that reflected the preference for tradition and security, which I consider so important, both personally and professionally. The resulting graph clearly showed this two dimension as the highest and indicated a tendency towards stability, respect for rules, and maintaining social structures. This align with how I make decisions and interact with my job environment, for example. What about you guys?
And in my questionnaire, when I was doing it, I select the values like self-direction, benevolence, and also tradition, like as important. So the graph results shows higher in personal and social values and lower in power and achievement. I think that this could mean that I focus more on I don't know, helping the others and doing what feels right for me, rather than or competition or status. That's what I think that it means, the my results.
Yeah, when I look at my graph, then it was kind of clear for me that I lean more towards a value like stability and yeah, being dependent. I don't really care much about the power trying to be in control, like or being dominant the whole time. What matters to me is having things to feel fair and respect others in a safe environment where everybody can be, yeah, true and work in a positive environment too. Because I think if you work in a good atmosphere at work, you can also grow more with your career, but like in a more stable process in the long term.
Someone else?
Yes, someone else wants to add something about the resource in the graph, in the questionnaire.
Well, my result showed that that I had a very high number on the power factor. So yeah, I just want to be in control on everything, especially on my own career, but also when it comes to for the future, I want to be a manager at a high level. So yeah, that's maybe a reason why the power factor is so high, and that's also the reason why I'm studying management. That's clear. And also the openness to change is actually very high, that I'm a bit surprised. But yeah, I don't know why it is so, but yeah.
So about my graphs, I like to work in teamwork. So about how I like to work, and I pick up the answer that I showed. I enjoy the work with others, solving problems and learning new things. And this means I like to sharing ideas with others and doing work that make me think. So I don't enjoy boring or routine tasks.
Okay, thank you for sharing your results and for all discussing this. I think that we finish with all